When most people speak about real estate here in Toronto, they want to know about price. If you're a buyer, you want to know what you can afford, and if you're a seller, you want to know if you are building some kind of equity in your property. But based on the real estate market here in Toronto over the past few years, the real question should be, what is causing buyers to move to the sidelines? Why this question? Well, in terms of the last 20 years, 2023 has had the fewest transactions than any other year in the Toronto real estate market across all property types. And even though 2024 had 2.6% more transactions than 2023, it was the second fewest transactions in any year of the last 20 years, and that includes 2008 with the financial crisis. So why is this happening? Let's break it down. In some ways, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Toronto is a much bigger city than it was 20 years ago, so we should see more transactions happening now than we used to. But we have to remember that 2021 was a big year in real estate transactions. It had the most transactions than any other year of the past 20 years. So it is not surprising that 2022, 2023, and 2024 would be slow. Still, 3 slower years of transactions is quite a bit. So why are buyers holding out for so long? Buyers heading to the sidelines usually has to do with uncertainty. And in 2023, we had a lot of uncertainty around interest rates. They were going up and people were not sure about how high they were going to go, so they were reluctant to buy any property. Now in 2024, they did start to come down, and we did have a 2.6% increase in the number of transactions. So some buyers did return to the table. There are some buyers still who are waiting for the bottom of those interest rates. And I think that's going to lead to even more people coming back in 2025. So as far as uncertainty is concerned, with interest rates, I think that's going to play less of a role in 2025 and moving forward. But we do have to remember that there are other kinds of uncertainties out there, and we should have a good look at them. Moving forward into 2025, I think we have something interesting happening. We have uncertainty departing, and we have uncertainty arriving. Now, as far as the big interest rate juggernaut of uncertainty is concerned, I think that's going to play a much smaller role. We have gone up and we have come down. We probably have a little bit more room to come down. But for the big picture, I suspect we're not going to see a lot of interest rate movement. Now, in terms of uncertainty coming, we have a new president to the south of us, and we may see some tariffs. And if that's the case, that may cause some uncertainty in our economy and perhaps even lead to higher interest rates. We also have 2 elections coming, both a federal and a provincial election, and those tend to cause a bit of uncertainty until they play out. So there is some new uncertainty heading our way that may cause some tentative behavior. With all that said, we have a lot of pent-up demand in the Toronto real estate market because we've seen so few transactions in the past 3 years. I suspect we should see more buyer demand this year. Of course, there are always those political headwinds that may cause more uncertainty and lead to some sideline behavior from the buyers. Now, I should point out that the pre-construction real estate industry may not recover in the same way this year. They are at their lowest transaction level since the 1990s, and I suspect that's going to stay quite low this year. But the resale market, I am going to say, will be a much more robust year than we've seen in the past. You never really know, but that's my feeling in this blog. Now, if you like what you see here and you want to learn more about the Toronto real estate market, please do consider subscribing or hitting the like button. I'm David Coffey of Bosley Real Estate.